Have you ever wondered about the greatest craftsman, warrior, and tragic hero in Tolkien's world, a character whose brilliance shone so brightly that it consumed him, shaping the fate of Middle-earth? Today, we delve into the tale of Fëanor, the most gifted and doomed of all the elves. His story is one of unparalleled genius, burning ambition, and devastating pride. Stick with me as we explore how his choices shaped the history of the First Age, leading to both the creation of the most beautiful works in all of Arda, and to one of the darkest legacies ever to befall the world. The beginning. Birth of a genius. Fëanor was born in the blissful realm of Valinor, home of the Valar, the godlike beings who shaped the world. His mother, Miriel, named him Curufinwe, but he would later take the name Fëanor, meaning spirit of fire. And indeed, his fiery spirit would define his entire existence. Fëanor's birth, however, came at a great cost. His mother, overwhelmed by the intensity of his spirit, was physically and spiritually drained, and she chose to pass away, forsaking life in Valinor. This loss profoundly affected Fëanor, planting seeds of inner turmoil and fueling his deep-seated pride. Fëanor quickly became known for his extraordinary talents. His mind was sharper than any blade, and his skill in craftsmanship surpassed even the greatest works of the Valar. He became a master smith, particularly with gemstones and metals, and forged wonders never before seen in the world. But it wasn't only his hands that were deft. Fëanor possessed an unmatched will and ambition, desiring to exceed all who came before him. The creation of the Silmarils. Fëanor's greatest achievement and the root of his ultimate downfall was the creation of the Silmarils. These three jewels captured the light of the two trees of Valinor, which were the source of all life and beauty in the blessed realm. The Silmarils radiated an unearthly glow, representing the very essence of creation itself. Even the Valar marveled at their beauty, and no one, not even the gods, could replicate them. However, the Silmarils also became the object of envy and greed, even within Fëanor's own heart. He guarded them jealously, refusing to share their light with anyone. This obsessive love for his creation made him vulnerable, and it drew the attention of the greatest evil in the world, Melkor, later named Morgoth, the first Dark Lord. Melkor's deceit. Melkor, having long harbored resentment against the Valar, sought to corrupt the hearts of the elves in Valinor. Fëanor, with his pride and possessiveness, was a prime target. Under the guise of friendship, Melkor whispered lies into Fëanor's ear, fueling his mistrust of the Valar and his half-brother Fingolfin. Melkor hinted that the Valar intended to take the Silmarils for themselves, and that they feared Fëanor's growing power. Fëanor, blinded by pride, fell into Melkor's trap. He began to question the Valar's intentions and turned against his own kin, suspecting even his father Finwë of favoritism toward Fingolfin. In a moment of passion, Fëanor drew his sword against Fingolfin, which led to his exile from the city of Tirion. Though the Valar saw the influence of Melkor in these actions, Fëanor refused to repent. He took his father, his 7 sons, and the Silmarils with him, withdrawing to the fortress of Forminos. The theft of the Silmarils. It was during Fëanor's exile that the unthinkable happened. Melkor, now fully revealed as Morgoth, unleashed his wrath upon Valinor. With the help of Ungoliant, the monstrous spider, Morgoth poisoned and destroyed the 2 trees of Valinor, plunging the realm into darkness. As a final blow, Morgoth stormed Forminos, killed Finwë Fëanor's father, and stole the Silmarils. Grief and rage consumed Fëanor. The Silmarils were not only the symbol of his genius, but also his greatest source of pride and identity. The death of his father at the hands of Morgoth only deepened his hatred. It was in this moment of despair and fury that Fëanor made his fateful choice. He swore the Oath of Fëanor. The Oath of Fëanor. In a fiery speech before his followers, Fëanor and his 7 sons vowed to pursue Morgoth and reclaim the Silmarils at any cost. Their oath was absolute, binding them to pursue vengeance, no matter the consequences or who stood in their way. This oath would come to curse the House of Fëanor, causing endless tragedy and bloodshed, not only for themselves, but for countless others. Fëanor rallied the Noldor to rebel against the Valar, convincing them to leave Valinor and pursue Morgoth to Middle-earth. In his haste, Fëanor committed one of the most unforgivable acts in the history of the Elves, the Kinslaying at Alqualondë. Desperate for ships to cross the sea, Fëanor led his followers in an attack on the Teleri Elves, who refused to give up their ships. This betrayal stained Fëanor's legacy forever, marking him and his sons with a curse that would haunt them throughout their lives. The Doom of Mandos and the March to Middle-earth. For this act, the Valar pronounced the Doom of Mandos upon Fëanor and his house. They would face endless sorrow and misfortune, and their quest for the Silmarils would only bring ruin. Yet, even in the face of this grim prophecy, Fëanor pressed on, burning the ships once he and his followers reached Middle-earth, leaving many of his people, including his half-brother Fingolfin, stranded on the shores of Valinor. Arriving in Middle-earth, Fëanor led the charge against Morgoth's forces with unmatched ferocity. For a time, he seemed unstoppable, but his fiery spirit also led him to overestimate his own strength. In his reckless pursuit of Morgoth, Fëanor and a small band of warriors charged deep into enemy territory, where they were ambushed by Balrogs, Morgoth's most fearsome servants. The fall of Fëanor. It was in this final, desperate battle that Fëanor's fiery spirit met its tragic end. Though he fought with unmatched skill, Fëanor was mortally wounded by Gothmog, the Lord of Balrogs. As he lay dying, Fëanor's mind burned with anger and frustration. Even in death, his gaze was fixed toward the north, toward Morgoth's fortress of Angband, cursing his enemy and lamenting that he had not reclaimed the Silmarils. Before his sons, Fëanor's body turned to ash, consumed by the very fire of his spirit. Yet, even as his body perished, his oath lived on, binding his sons to the relentless and doomed pursuit of the Silmarils, a quest that would shape the fate of Middle-earth for centuries to come. The story of Fëanor is one of brilliance and tragedy. He was the greatest of the Elves, whose genius created works that even the gods marveled at. Yet his pride, his possessiveness, and his unyielding will led him down a path of darkness. The Oath of Fëanor unleashed unimaginable grief upon his kin, and his fiery legacy would ripple through the history of Middle-earth, leaving scars that would never fully heal. So, what can we learn from Fëanor's tale? Is it a warning against unchecked ambition, or a reminder of the power of creation and its potential for both wonder and destruction? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey into the heart of Tolkien's legendarium, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of Middle-earth.